So not so long ago I reviewed the Oukitel K10, a beast with an 11,000 mAh battery. The Oukitel K8000 is a bit of an older phone, but it also has a very different design than the Oukitel K10. Let's find out if the 8000 mAh battery can be the one you want. So to start off, like I said, the design is very different and I'm digging this blue color on the phone. The phone feels pretty premium and heavy, and I love that little design detail where the texture power button has this little chamfered edge around it that is colored red. Subtle, but I really like it. Overall though, like I said, this is a bit of an older phone design. It has the 16:9 ratio display, it has a front-facing fingerprint scanner, and it has a headphone jack. Yes, it has one. Still not sure why the Oukitel K6 and K10 don't have it though. It also has a micro USB charging, so no USB-C for this one. So of course the main selling point for this phone is its battery. So how does it perform? Well, overall the performance is great. You can easily use this phone for 2 days and still have some juice left. However, do keep in mind that sometimes when a battery has about 10% left, it can all of a sudden shut down. So that percentage is not properly calibrated, so do keep that in mind. No worry though, the battery life is still great, it's just something to keep in mind. So what are we working with in terms of specs with the Oukitel K8000? Well, mostly the features are the standard ones on a mid-range phone. It has the MediaTek MT6750T CPU, 4GB of RAM, 64GB of internal memory, and you can expand it via microSD. It has a 5.5-inch HD AMOLED display and it runs Android 7.0. Like I said, nothing special is going on here apart from the AMOLED display, which does look pretty nice. But overall the specs are pretty similar to all the phones around there, with one having 4GB of RAM and the other 6GB of RAM. With these specs you can easily play some games, however not the most intense ones. In daily use, however, the phone works really smooth and I haven't had any problems with lag or anything like that. It is also nice to see that you actually have an app drawer and the overall software looks really clean as well. So of course when you buy a budget phone like this, you shouldn't expect that the camera is that great at all. And it isn't different for this one. Actually, this one is below some other budget phones that I tested. The overexposure and the dynamic range is pretty bad. And overall pictures seem really flat because there is hardly any saturation. Reds are very flat and they should pop out a bit more to make it come over nicer. However, if you take just simple pictures with it and you just want to capture the moment, it's fine. However, don't expect that the pictures will have a lot of quality in them. It is decently sharp, but that's about it. And of course, because it is a budget phone, you also don't have optical image stabilization, meaning that videos aren't stable at all. The biggest issue for me, however, when it comes to the camera is that it has problems focusing on smaller objects. So the focal length is a problem and also the focus itself. And the last thing I want to cover is the speakers, and they don't sound great at all. It's very flat, and basically when you hear someone talk, it is at its worst. If you listen to music via it, it's acceptable, but when someone talks, it's quite bad. That is. But overall, because of it, it makes it a great overall sounding tuned headset. And well, I like much more smarter. What makes this phone, however, have a possible edge over the others around this price is of course its battery. And at the end, that is the question for you that you have to ask yourself. Because while you do get a much bigger battery, it is of course heavier and thicker. But in terms of design and feel in the hand, I do think that they really did a good job with it. So what do you think about the Oukitel K8000? Let me know in the comments below, and of course don't forget to check out the Oukitel K10 review so you can compare the two and see how they are a bit compared to each other. Also, don't forget to check the link in the description where you can check it out in full details. Have a good one and talk to you guys in the next